In a city that loves its fights, the LPGA is staging a heavyweight title bout of its own in Vegas. Two of the tour's biggest stars exchanging blows on the severe, stunning canvas of Shadow Creek. The challenger, Leona Maguire, twice an LPGA winner, twice the star for the European Solheim Cup team. And the undisputed champion, world #1, Nelly Korda, coming in with wins in her last 3 starts and a 4th straight win in her sights. Nelly, Leona, who will answer the bell here in Vegas. Grant Boone and Karen Stupples. Just moments ago, Nelly Korda with the putt to go 4 up.
It's just so solid. Like, over the course of these matches, from that length, it's just been like, just give it to her. It's been magnificent how she's been playing.
They're not going to stop the fight. And you know, Leona isn't going to give an inch, but she is 4 down through 7. As we take you out to the par 3 8th. And Nelly, who is now 4 under par through 7 holes on the exacting test of Shadow Creek. And Kay Cockrell is going to follow this group.
Nelly's playing the kind of golf right now that everyone dreams about playing. Her poise, her focus, her gorgeous golf swing, her ability to control distance with the irons, her majestic drives, it's all coming together. This is just a small 8-iron. A little bit of a false front. That was probably 2 paces from being ideal, but not bad.
I have an uphill putt now. Okay, the onus really is on Leona to put a good one in here now, closer.
Leona's probably one of the most focused golfers I've ever watched. She has a tenacity, an ability to sort of have a tunnel vision and only be concerned about her game, her process, her strategy. And so it wouldn't surprise me for her to just hang in there and keep fighting the fight. This is a 7-iron. Good looking swing, a little bit right of the flag. Oh, that's lovely.
And a chance for Leona to fight back. Down 4 through 7. NBC Sports and the LPGA Tour proudly present the season-long race to the CME Globe. From Las Vegas, Nevada, it's the championship match of the T-Mobile Match Play, presented by MGM Rewards. For the 4th year, the LPGA has come to this spectacular Tom Fazio layout, Shadow Creek, about 30 minutes northeast of the Vegas Strip. But a twist this year. 3 days of stroke play gave us 8 quarterfinalists. And 2 of the very best in the game are going at it today, mano a mano. Nelly Korda looking for a 4th win in as many starts, and Leona Maguire trying to win for the 3rd time in as many years on the LPGA Tour. Karen and I are joined, as you've heard, by Kay Cockrell out on the golf course and Tom Abbott calling the odd-numbered holes. Karen, how about this start for Nelly Korda?
I mean, she's just had 3 birdies in a row. I mean, you can't really argue with that kind of golf. I mean, Leona has kind of let Nelly in a little bit in those first few holes, which is not good when you look at the stats that the players that go up early have been winning these matches.
Kay, would you call it a combination of excellence from Nelly and a couple of stumbles from Leona, or how would you describe it?
Yes, I would. Nelly has come out showing why she is the undisputed #1. She hasn't missed a fairway. She hasn't missed a green, and has made 4 birdies so far. So it's quite a sight to see, and Leona has her work cut out for her. This putt is uphill 2/3 of the way, and then starts to flatten out. How does that not fall?
I don't know, but if I'm Leona, I'm like, thank you for that flattening out and making that little turn. That was another good-looking putt. I think this is one of my takeaways, so far this week from watching Nelly, is that we know how good she is from tee to green, but around the green and the putter this week has just been, I mean, it's been out of this world.
And now Leona to get one back.
Leona is confident in her ability right now. She talked about how her game is really coming together nicely, and she proved that in the stroke play portion, handling Shadow Creek well. She proved it by showing she made it to the semis last year, so she loves this course. She knows how to play it. And now this birdie putt, Karen, I see dripping to the right. It'll be on the fast side.
It's another tight one. I think this weather, now that we've turned into some nice sunnier, better playing conditions, I think Leona would have much preferred it to be a bit tougher out there with the wind.
Back on the 9th with Nelly Korda 4 up in this final.
From this elevated tee, less than driver, that might even be a 7-wood, Tom.
Perfect. And Maguire also going with less than driver.
Yeah, this is a hole with them both playing back. It'll sort of be even off the tee with regards to distance in.
Yeah, that's just going to sneak it past Nelly there, which wouldn't happen, of course, with the driver.
Well, this was earlier in this championship match. Nelly Korda, having won the second hole, had this for birdie, with Leona having to move her mark because she was right on the line. And this is, I mean, this is match play right here, isn't it?
It is, and pressure's now on Leona. She's already one down. Got to try and follow that, and she does.
It's the hole tied with birdies. They would also tie the par 5 4th. On to the 5th. Nelly had a 10-footer or so for birdie. This was Leona.
And Leona's probably thinking that she had to give this a good run to make it, because Nelly's in there pretty close. Nelly's been putting well, so she gives it a good roll. Just a little bit too much of a good roll.
That kept on going and going and going.
61. Should we try and listen in here? But if you look at her matches in the Solheim Cup, sort of the high pressure cauldron of the game, and you would call this in that category as well, Leona has not trailed by this much. So this is kind of new territory at this point in her career.
9 at 42. Doable, but again, we have to, it's tight. But I think the way your rhythm is right now, I think your rhythm is pure with this 42 with this club. We know we can hit that 40 shot all day, right? Instead of trying to rip with a right to left.
Got that tree just left of the scoreboard.
Honestly, I think if you touch ground just left to your face, it's perfect in that black spot. It's going to go that way. Okay. Do you want to start? You want to finish it just at the left side of the square? Okay, perfect.
Unlike the preponderance of courses that the LPGA plays for regular events, normally the greens are on the softer side. These are firm and fast, like major championship greens. Going with a little 8-iron. Flag right over that ridge.
It's got us down a little bit.
And our KPMG insights for this match. Karen, 6 under in stroke play for Leona. She led. That's why she's technically the #1 seed. And we said Nelly was 20th going in to that third round. Had to shoot 69 to get in.
She got off of a typically slow start for Nelly. First round was not her best, but in Nelly fashion, she clawed her way back and got in as the 6th seed. And then from there on, I mean, you look, it's been very evenly matched. Holes won, holes lost.
Now Maguire second.
4 paces ahead from where Nelly hit. Also going with an 8-iron, trying to start this right of the flag stick.
Oh, it needs to come back
the
down.
Slope.
Oh, it's going to go too far by, I think. Yeah, it's going to end up. So she's slow. That's good. Very good.
It's the right idea, Tom.
Yep. You can't, and it's interesting because you'd look at those 2 shots, and you'd say average in terms of proximity to the hole. But that's what you've got to do here.
Exactly.
I mean, you can hit it 10 feet from the hole, but if you've got it all downhill, it's not going to happen.
Nope.
But being 25 feet away with a flatter putt, that's kind of Shadow Creek in a nutshell.
It's insanely difficult.
You have to have a lot of patience because you might execute a shot very close to perfect in your own mind. It just is the ridge on a wrong angle, and you know, for Nelly now, gosh, she's a good 35, close to 40 feet away. A very difficult putt. Leona Maguire has the advantage. She'll be able to have a much, well, actually, quite frankly, a makeable birdie putt.
Leona's got to get that putter going, Kay. That's what's let her down over the last, what, 4 holes, where she's had chances and just hasn't taken them. That in match play, that's what we've come to expect from Leona. She makes those putts. It hasn't happened today yet.
She does, Tom, and that's what infuriates her opponents. Is she is so good, particularly in that 4, 5, 6 foot range, if not throwing in a couple of longer putts.
And Nelly is playing the best golf of her life. She's got a chance to win 4 in 4 starts here. So Leona knew, I mean, she said it to me yesterday, she knew that it was going to be a tough challenge. And I think when the putter goes cold, that's kind of the worst thing that could happen for Leona.
I don't think Leona has a problem being the spoiler.
No, not at all. And she would really have had confidence coming in today. Nelly for the birdie. Just wanting it to sit down a bit. But Leona now has a chance. She needs to do something here to eat into this lead. 4 up to the #1 player, or 4 down to the #1 player in the world.
Very disciplined, very smart about how she practices. And in particular, he pointed out that she had the ability to spend countless hours working on her short game that a lot of young people don't have the patience to really do.
Away at the end.
A little firmer and she would have had that.
Yeah. 4 was a good score here in the stroke play.
Interesting match play, Karen. I mean, you know, because you're great at match play, but if you're in Leona's position and you've just seen Nelly roll that putt past 6 feet, it's very hard to make your putt really aggressively, because in the back of your mind you might think, well, she's still going to have to hole a good one.
You never want to just give the hole up to your opponent. And Leona did that at the par 3 fifth when she rolled her birdie putt some 35 feet by. Oh, and the first mistake that we've seen from Nelly today.
Now, you said it was going to be a tough all the way to the back of the green. And, still a 3-up lead at the turn for Nelly Korda.
Just a slight crack here for Leona Maguire after the 3-putt bogey from Nelly.
Had the honor on the first tee, and this is the first time she's had it since the second, going with driver. And that's going to end up just fine. Nelly has missed this fairway right the last 2 matches. Well, finds the fairway. Long ways back, but short grass.
Thank you. Well, Leona Maguire trying to punch back here against world #1 Nelly Korda. Karen, they talk about styles making fights. We've got quite the contrast here with Nelly Korda, world #1, and Leona Maguire, don't we?
We've seen it already. Nelly really been able to take advantage of her length. She's able to carry somebody up slopes and land on down slopes, and the ball releases miles down these fairways. Leona doesn't make that carry. So, I mean, sometimes it's as much as 90 yards difference in where their drives are ending up. And that's not all just because of the carry. That's just a lot of where they're pitching to. And then the shots into the green become exponentially more difficult for Leona going in with longer clubs. But we've just seen on the 9th hole there, Leona plays a little clever creative shot using the banks to get the ball round to the hole and forces Nelly to have a 3-putt, but essentially something that I wasn't expecting to see over the course of this round, because Nelly's been so solid with that putter.
For someone as good in match play as Leona Maguire has always been, what would a moment like that mean to her?
Well, I think when you've been 4 down and everything feels like it's going against you, you can get a little bit down on yourself, but you just get a little glimmer of hope. Every single one you claw back, every single hole you advance forward closer to getting back to even par, it gives you that little glimmer of hope. And Leona's going to be a fighter. She's going to want to try and get this back. But like I've said, Nelly, the world #1 player in the world, is hitting the ball incredibly well. She's been putting well. I think what we saw there on the previous hole was the anomaly, not the norm.
For sure. And Nelly has gotten it done in her last 3 starts in a variety of ways, coming from behind late to win, posting a number like she did last week. Let's look at the tail of the tape. Leona stayed in college all 4 years. Nelly didn't go to college, so she had a bit of a head start. 11 wins for Nelly, that major championship. Leona was right there at the KPMG at Baltusrol last year, leading going into Sunday. Couldn't finish it. Both great in the Solheim Cup.
Absolutely. Again, completely different players. You know, both very appreciative of each other's skill set, and they knew what they were coming into this match today with eyes wide open, both of them. It's quite fascinating when you look at players' paths. I think players that are coming from Europe take a little bit longer to develop, because obviously a lot of the time the weather's not good enough to play as much as if you say grew up in Florida and have golf all the year round. But once you get here, it's like a fresh slate. It's all to play for.
Nelly's going to go first again, I believe.
55's good.
Double
just
check
a little
that.
in at this angle. Right now it's feeling a little off your right again. I got it mostly across at the moment. Yes, I do. I like it controlled. Kind of finishing on that guy that's sitting down there.
She pulled out a 6-iron. She uses this club a lot, just a little one. 155 to carry the bunker. but I think she's trying to hit it more up the left side of the green. This might be going a little too far left. Yeah, that's not going to be an easy place to get up and down from.
No, it's going to be quite quick. A little bit of a mound there that she's going to have to negotiate. I'm not sure how you get that one close, actually.
Leona's can't challenge this flag stick from this angle coming out of this first cut.
We're trying to pretty much hit it straight over this tree and carry it 56. Just wait and get straight. Okay. Maybe you couldn't ask for a better number. If it just carries, you should just stop. Just stop the left edge of that, the left half of that tree, full throttle.
I think the key here is taking the 7-iron. That's the first iron that she has in her bag. Ooh, she's going at it.
Well, if you're...
And pushed it.
Yeah.
Did that catch the pine tree?
It did.
It certainly looked that way.
Is that a ball against the
Oh, my
base
goodness.
of the tree?
She's not going to have any
play.
shot. Well, I think she was trying to play for the fatter, bigger right side of the green, Kay. There's a lot of room over there. There's a little bit of bank. If she lands it on the edge of the green there, she's going to run through and then release back down to the middle of that back portion, knowing that Nelly has a really tough up and down. So she's thinking, if I just make par here, I'm going to have a really good shot at winning this hole. So all she had to do was hit the bigger, fatter portion of the green on the right.
But now Leona may not even have a third shot. Let's show you how she got here. In round one, this was for birdie at the 12th. She would go on to shoot even par 72, which was much better than the scoring average. And then 17, you were doing well even to find the green at all. She did this.
Just pitched it right in the long grass at the front of the green and just got enough hop forward.
She led the stroke play portion, doubling up the rest of the competitors. And then against Moria Jatanagarn, Saturday morning quarterfinals, out of position off the tee, but then this.
Took her medicine and played to the strongest part of her game, which is the wedges.
Moria could not make her birdie, and Leona would win 4 and 3. Earned her a date with former player of the year, major champion Se Young Kim. This was at this same 10th hole. She had rolled her third shot past. No problem for Leona. Big par there. And then at the 16th, Se Young had missed a couple of ones about this distance and couldn't get that to go, Karen.
No, and finding yourself with a cold putter is not much fun in match play.
And so a 3-2 victory over Se Young Kim. And she earns a date with Nelly, and that indeed is the ball of Leona Maguire up against the root of the tree, or the base of the tree.
Yeah, it's maybe 3.5 inches from the actual base, but it's enough that really she has no shot to get on the green at all. It's just a matter of where do I want to play from next. She's contemplating hitting it sort of backwards into the bunker. I think that's really her only play.
What would an unplayable do for her, Kay, from that position?
Well, she might be able to take the unplayable between where the ball is now and the edge of the edge of the bunker. It'd be in thick rough. But I think what she's going to do, she's going to turn this club around and hit it, kind of chop down at it and hit it in the bunker. I think she'd rather hit her next shot from the sand than from the thick rough. Maybe she can pop it over the bunker.
Did that almost bury in the face? It hit the top.
Came in low.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's
No,
fine.
it's okay. Yeah.
It looks like she's got a little upslope too, so that'll be very helpful with this next shot. I mean, she got a lot of ball here from that shot.
And again, Nelly is not in great position either for her third shot. But Nelly will be working hard for her part.
And hope that it's going to be enough to possibly have the hole, to tie the hole.
Concession length.
It was strategically well thought out there, Kay, with the backhanded shot into the bunker and then to put it there.
She's a very intelligent young woman, and she uses that intelligence well to help her strategize on the golf course.
She did go to Duke.
She did.
How about Nelly?
This is an awkward shot. It's just challenging for a variety of reasons. Sitting in the rough, ball well below her feet, green sloping away. Oh, she landed that quite softly.
Just as good as you're going to get, Kay. I mean, there was really no chance to get that much closer because of how steep that slope is.
That'll be a putt to win the hole, though, for Nelly. Go 4 through 10.
There is still par. Par really is it's we still want to help out the hole, but it's irrelevant. You're going against an opponent. Each hole is like its own individual tournament. And you play your shots, and you deviate a little depending on what your opponent has done.
Par may not be any more irrelevant than at Shadow Creek.
What's your personal par around this golf course?
Yeah.
It is so demanding from tee to green. This putt will be slightly uphill, so on the slower side.
Oh, just enough.
Wow. Wow.
Nelly drips it in for par and regains a 4-up lead. Nelly on her way to the 11th. Earlier today, the drive, chip, and putt
Speaking
competition.
of great experiences, I heard that you've had the chance to meet Nelly Korda. Were you more nervous to meet Nelly or over these putts?
I was more nervous over these putts. Yeah, but yeah, it was so amazing.
And speaking of successful golfers, what are your future golf goals? What do you want to be in this game?
I would love to be the next Nelly Korda, but not everybody can be a Nelly Korda. But it's just so amazing. I think I just want to win a bunch of golf tournaments. I want to play well, that kind of thing.
She's not alone. A lot of people want to be the next Nelly Korda. The actual Nelly Korda is playing the kind of golf that, Karen, you just don't see very often on the LPGA Tour. You go back to the year she won 4 times plus a gold medal.
Yep.
She tended, well, she spread those wins out a little bit. Did have back in the summer, but to win 4 in a row, it just doesn't happen very often.
It's so hard because, you know, winning one, you know, mentally drains you, and then you get to the next site the next week and you try and win again. Even though you're playing well, the mental fatigue kind of does set in a little bit. She's done it 3 weeks in a row now in weather conditions that are just not conducive to being refreshed.
And for the second straight week, she comes to a course she's never seen before. It's a different format, but voila, here she is in the championship match. Tom, the 11th, how about it today?
Yeah, the tee's moved forward again today.
You got a good target?
And you were with Nelly.
Got it, bud. Just a normal one.
Yesterday afternoon, Kay. She played from this tee.
She did, and she hit a beautiful shot, a low driving 3-wood, going with 3-wood again today.
Got our Top Tracer technology presented by Progressive Insurance.
Today going much higher, trying to fly it all the way to that front edge.
Looked like it just pitched in the bunker, did it?
It did, yes. Yesterday she hit a lower penetrating shot, almost got it on the front, but it curled back down along that extremely steep slope that fronts the left part of the screen.
If it's lying okay in the bunker, all right spot to be, Karen, or not enough green to work with?
You have a little bit of green there. It just depends if she's managed to find a bit of an upslope. If it's a little bit upslope, then much easier.
Now, Leona hit, she hit 3-wood yesterday. Okay, she's going with driver today.
She went through the green yesterday. She was all the way through in the thick rough. Lining up to the left edge. Oh, she hammered that one. It's on a beautiful line.
And that's in the bunker. Looked like that to me. We'll get Kay to confirm it when she heads down there. They are the golf balls there. And the bunker short of 11. Good, good. Move on. They did some work to the bunkers here. That's why you've got the Bermuda grass around the bunkers. They did that last summer, and they were very... Brian Fahey there from the LPGA. Rules official.
Leona's ball is the further one into the bunker.
How do I do it? I think even if I put a key down, yeah,
that's what I'm saying. If you use just a go wedge or something like that, or the length of your putter or the wedge, yes. However, we mark it away from the golf ball, we just got to do the reverse.
And I need to pick a point as well, right?
Yeah, if you get to pick a point, yeah. If we touch the sand here, that's okay.
Can I
in measuring, you can in measuring, yep.
Now they're going to move her ball because her ball will be in Leona's stance. They're virtually the same distance apart now.
You're not clean it though.
Leona's probably 2 inches further away by the angle.
And then obviously we'll just do our best to recreate that lie. We'll place the ball measure back and place that up, measure back and turn the ball.
And after Leona hits, the lie will be recreated to allow Nelly to have the same conditions. Tom, I'd say this is going to be a pretty equal battle. I mean, they have virtually the same shot, same distance, same angle, both on that uphill lie that Karen talked about being an advantage. That'll help loft the ball out and pop it up a little softer, because as we know, this green is shallow and it's firm like a tabletop.
So not as difficult as some of the bunker shots we've seen here, Kay.
No, it's the difficulty, I'd say, is that it's a very deep bunker, and you cannot really see the surface of the green once you are down in there, especially if you're Leona, who's not as tall as Nelly. So that's why she got out to try to imagine the spot where she wants to land this, probably right at the flagstick.
Came out a little hot.
It did. I'm a little surprised that there wasn't more height on that.
That's not what she needed. Remember, she's 4 down here. 8 holes to play.
I think she pulled that. Sorry, Kay.
bringing in the rules official as a neutral body to rake the sand and not give any impartiality to perhaps a rake job done a little too good or not good enough.
Yeah. Well, he was paying close attention to the line and to recreating that lie.
So Nelly, yeah, recreating the lie here with the club length away. I mentioned that you see the grass is different around the bunkers. They did some work here last summer, and there was a big focus on making sure the golf course was ready for this event. It's a very important event for MGM Resorts and Shadow Creek, and so they felt that the Bermuda grass around the bunkers was the best surface in terms of the time that they had to work on the bunker. So that's why it's a little bit different, but it gives a good surface for players should they find their ball in it.
I think he raked this too tight.
Too well. Yeah, it was in a bit of it was in a little bit of a ridge, wasn't it, when it was there? They're going to try and find it.
Yeah, this is something you don't see every day. I think this this bunker with the slope is running about 15 on the stem meter.
Golf can be a really silly game, can't it?
Well, what are the odds of two players hitting two different clubs off the tee and ending up about a foot and a half from each other in the bunker?
And Tom, in stroke play, you'd just tell the other one to go ahead, right?
Yeah.
You wouldn't need to, but match play, whoever's farther away needs to play.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there is in stroke play you could mark it. I mean, it'd just be depending on how you figured it out. But in match play, it's important that the one who's further away. Yeah.
I do think Nelly can learn a lot from Leona's shot. I mean, she would have noticed that Leona pulled it because of that upslope, the big upslope that she was on. I think you've got to really kind of make sure that you don't do that, because you get that extra bit of release on the ball. So I think Nelly's going to have paid close attention to that. But she's a little bit not quite as up on the slope now as she was, because she had to try and get it to stay, Kay.
Yeah, it's probably a couple inches further down towards the bottom of the bunker. It's still on an upslope, but not quite as severe as Leona's.
It's technically to win the hole.
Oh, goodness. Well, almost the same thing happened to her yesterday when she stubbed a chip from the left-hand side of this fairway, and it rolled back down very close to the same spot. It's like some weird mojo going on for Nelly on this hole right now, and that was just not a good bunker shot.
So this is the shot that Kay was talking about. This is yesterday.
Oh my God.
She said she was giggling about it afterwards because it was so bad.
I'll be giggling at the moment. Do you think that was a result of seeing Leona go long?
I think so. I think she was trying to really land it on just on the edge. But again, it came out a little more left than I was expecting. I thought these players would play it more out to the right.
How about this shot now, Kay?
Not easy. Just got to pound it into the face and hope it jumps up. That was really good.
Yeah.
Leona to get the hole back. Get back to 3 down.
Good.
So now Nelly with a putt to tie the hole. Well, she'll feel like this will be a bonus to get away with that mistake if this goes in.
This week. I mean, yesterday Nelly laughed afterwards saying, I feel like I'm playing in the U.S. Open with all the rounds of golf, and you know, back-to-back matches yesterday, inevitably you're going to check out or just not execute a shot the way you want. But how easily can you forget it, and can you not make back-to-back mistakes?
Wow, that's a big heart for Nelly. I think that'll be a bit of a blow for Leona there, especially as she left her attempt to win the hole short, which you just can't do when you're 4 down.
Four up with 7 to play. Nelly Korda on the tee at 12.
Looking to take this down the left center. This fairway tilts left to right, and with the hole right, you want to favor the left side.
Yep.
This could be a totally different match right now.
I agree.
Leona now.
Well, this is going a little left. Going to need a good kick.
Got it. All right, about half an hour from the Vegas Strip, beginning to simmer with activity. Get your res in. Nelly, 4 up. Leona Maguire fighting for her match play life here. Nelly Korda 4 up through 11. A couple of more holes, one for Nelly, and this one will be over. We're going to look at this shot at the 12th from Leona with our top tracer technology presented by Progressive Insurance. Kate.
Yeah, and here's another difference in distance off the tee. Nelly 72 yards ahead. This a 9-iron for Leona.
And nearly perfect. But
Just
Shadow Creek.
Yeah, it just got extra release, and now she's going to have a downhill putt. The whole location is quite a familiar one to these players. It's been on that right side most of the week. I think only one other time it's been anywhere else on this green.
And last time it was over on this right-hand side. Nelly hit a nice shot. She got applause, but she was about 12 feet above the hole. Impossibly fast putt. So see if she can control this lob wedge and keep it below the hole.
Off the stick.
Oh, she'll have another great birdie chance, Grant.
The world #1. Separating herself from the rest of women's golf and separating herself today from Leona Maguire. Another look, one hop. Leona with a long birdie putt down that slick slope, and Nelly has a chance perhaps to go 5 up with 6 to play. All this week, Golf Channel is live from the Masters, bringing you the most comprehensive coverage from Augusta National Golf Club, live from the Masters on Golf Channel and Peacock. We said it a minute ago, Karen, those putts from Nelly for par at 10 and 11. Obviously, it's 2 holes difference, but mentally, what is 2 down versus 4 down?
Well, I think 10 is somewhat Leona's making. I mean, she had an opportunity to hit the green, and I think Nelly's putt is a very different kettle of fish if it's to halve the hole versus to win the hole. It just adds a little bit of another element of spice to it if you're over it to tie as opposed to win. So, yes, Nelly's been making the putts, and it's been great. But you've got to expect that from her because that's what she's been doing all week. I think Leona's had chances and opportunities for this match to be a lot closer than it is.
Yes, I do. You don't really see sort of decisions not executing when she really did do it. I watched her in 2 single Solheim Cup matches when she absolutely took down Jennifer Kupcho and Rose Zhang not even allowing them to breathe. And it's kind of happening to Leona right now. And Karen, with this birdie putt that she faces, I'd be hard-pressed to see her try to get this inside distance-wise where Nelly is for birdie. This is so fast.
I think she has to feel like she's got to make this one, Kay.
Good luck. This is one of those greens where it is absolutely essential to end up below the hole. You'd rather have a 20-footer, a 25-footer uphill versus even a 10-footer downhill.
It's so hard though, Kay. Like, she hit a 9-iron in there, and it just took a big hop. That's just how her game is. And the difference here is that in stroke play, she would have just babied that little putt down there. But I think with Nelly being in there, I think it's now starting to kind of hit her. She's got to try and do something. And I think that you know, she just wanted to give that putt an opportunity, but it gets away from you so fast when you've got greens rolling at, what were you saying when you spoke to the guys, like almost 13?
The golf course really bears its teeth on these greens, and Shadow Creek prides itself of week in and week out setup that is major-like. You better bring your A+ game if you're coming here and you want to play well.
For par, Nelly for birdie in a moment. Will she concede?
Might see another concession, yeah. You know, and that's kind of big too, because Nelly's putt, although it's short, it had a big right to left movement, and it was not going to be an easy little putt.
It has been conceded, so a 5-up lead for the world number 1.
Korda 3.
With 6. Well, Tom, Suzann Pettersen's been here this week. It's her birthday today. Leona may need to pull a Suzann, who was 5 down with 5 to go at Interlaken in the 2002 Solheim Cup and roared back to get a half point. This has been a dominant performance from Nelly.
Yeah, Leona's momentum. She's just not got. I mean, she won the 9th and then gave it right back at 10 with that poor second shot that ended up behind the tree. And it's a shame because I think Leona's been playing really well, but it hasn't showed today at all.
No. Regardless of what you look at, through 11 holes, Nelly Korda's 4 under par. That's pretty good golf on this golf course, Kay.
Yeah, I feel like I'm watching Superwoman just handling this golf course and handling her opponent just with a shield around her that's impenetrable. And it all comes into just the approach with Nelly and the way she's executing shots and the rhythm with which she's swinging. It's just exquisite. And if she were to win this hole, it's over. At this point, Leona's got to be thinking, okay, let's see how long I can extend this match. I do not want to go down with a lopsided loss.
Come down kind of on the left side of the green there. Stock shot.
Flag over on the left side of the green. Not easy to get it close here, Kate.
No, it's not. It's very similar to where it was yesterday. Nelly hit 8-iron yesterday. Going to try to hit a better 8-iron today, but she's pushed it.
Big hop. Did that hit a sprinkler head?
On the green, to the right by the microphone.
I think there's 2 sprinkler heads between the edge of the bunker and the front of the green, and I saw sort of a splash of something.
Did you see where it finished?
No, I didn't.
The caddy was saying on the edge of the green.
It could have gone anywhere.
Okay, it must be all right.
Yeah. I don't know if they know, but it definitely looked like it hit a sprinkler head or a watering, cover.
Yeah, you can see a couple of them there on the just over the bunker. Top Tracer technology presented by Progressive Insurance for Maguire's tee shot. A bit of an opening.
Yeah, and that's a 7-iron. Looking to just get this to the front part of the green, front left part of the green.
That should work out well. Yeah, really good. Well, an opportunity here for Leona. 5 down with 6 holes to play. It's very difficult to see where the ball finishes from up on the green. That's Nelly's ball, so it is just off the green. Very peculiar, really, to see that. I'd say it's a bit of bad luck. You never quite know where it was going to finish up.
Could have gone anywhere, as Jason said.
Back with Nelly's birdie putt here at the 13th.
It hasn't happened often, but Nelly at a distinct disadvantage on this hole. Having to putt up and over a big swell, and this is not going to get inside of.
It's going to go back to the front, isn't it?
Birdie.
It's going to go back to where almost the ball pitched when on the tee shot.
Oh,
so
goodness.
with that tee shot, Kay, do you think she was unlucky or lucky? Where would it have gone had it just missed that irrigation cover?
Unlucky. I believe it would have just landed and been in the primary rough, somewhere between the edge of the green and the edge of the bunker, with a much flatter, more straightforward chip shot. If that putt that she faced from the back right of the green was really impossible. I mean, we saw what just happened by slightly under-hitting it.
Yeah, this green has some of the biggest slopes of any of the greens here at Shadow Creek, and that's saying something because they are pretty slopey. And you can see what happens there when you just get it a fraction wrong. You can take the ball a long way from the hole.
Well, Nelly's going to give this a good old-fashioned try, and if she doesn't hole it, I'm sure we're going to see a concession, as Leona's beautifully struck and landed approach shots only about 15 feet away for birdie.
Remember, Nelly 5 up in the match, so could have won the match here on the 13th. Doesn't look like that's going to happen now. This one goes sailing by, and I think that's going to be it. But Shadow Creek might come back in the hole. Not going to come back that far. So Nelly has conceded. And she will go to the 14th tee, 4 up in this championship match of the T-Mobile match play. Have a little bit of a walk up the hill and around the corner to that 14th tee. Good catch there by the caddy.
So a chance to win on 13 couldn't. She'll have a chance to win on 14 and from here on out. Karen, they've met before 4 times, but it was in the team format with 4-ball and foursomes. Leona got the better of her 3 times.
It's a different kettle of fish when you're there with a partner in the cauldron of the Solheim Cup too. I mean, it just makes it feel completely different. But the team of Maguire and Reed were a little surprised, I think, that Katrina Matthew kind of concocted for the Americans, because they really did do a number on everybody. And Leona Maguire, she played all 5 matches as a rookie and showed no fear in that scenario. And I think the fact that they got off to that first victory really definitely helped them. But I think if you're a member of the European team, you're like, put me with Leona, please. But Nelly, I think the way she's playing right now, nobody would want to play against her.
No. She is a dominant number 1. We're talking about like a 15th thousandth of a point separating the top 3 in the world just a couple of weeks ago with Celine Boutier and Nelly Korda and Lilia Vu, and now it's Nelly 3 points ahead of even Lilia. All right, Leona with the honor after winning the 13th.
And Grant, that was just her second winning hole today. But she'll take it. Anything that could potentially switch the momentum. Maybe a couple of incredible things will happen for Leona. Going with 3 wood off this tee, these fairways are getting very firm, and with no wind, she wants to ensure this ball doesn't go through the fairway into the rough. Pushed it a little. That's been her miss today, Karen, and goodness, that looks like it's finding the right bunker. Just exactly what she didn't want to do.
No, because you talked about the momentum, Kayla. You know, momentum isn't just one hole. You've got to back it up with the next one.
Yep.
That's the finish line.
Yeah, there's a golf cart down there in the distance. That's her finish line, so going to start this a tad left of it. Yesterday afternoon, she missed it into the left rough near a tree. This one looks really good.
Yep, no problem with the bunkers there for Nelly.
Karen.
Ahead of the match, ahead in terms of positioning at 14, trying to win a 4th straight start. We're at the 14th, where Nelly Korda, #1 in the world, she's 6th, you see, in terms of the seed. That's because they seeded the players based on how they finished after 3 days of stroke play. But a dominant #1, and this is Leona Maguire, a little shy of the bunker at 14.
Yeah, I think we all thought her ball had reached that fairway bunker, and I don't know if this is an advantage or disadvantage to not be in it. She is in some pretty thick rough with 177 yards to the front, 192 to the hole. That's in a much more friendly hole location area today on that right side. It's kind of like a semi-bowl where you can play left of the flag and feed it down there to the right. Leona looking to land this probably a little shy of 177, probably like a 170, 75 yard shot.
She cannot lose the hole. If she does, it's over.
Well, she struck that really well, an aggressive line. Look at this. I don't know if it's going to sit, but that was a heck of a angle.
It'll come back a little.
Here it comes.
Oh, it's coming back
Gonna
on
have
a
a look at the
perfect
hole.
line. That's almost concession length for birdie. And what an escape for Leona when she just needed it. Now Nelly.
And, well, after seeing that, this may change her approach. She's got a 9-iron in hand. 150 to the hole.
Watch this with our top tracer technology, presented by Progressive Insurance.
Look like a good swing in line.
See if she gets the roll as well. Not quite far enough up there, is it, Karen?
Not quite. Not going to get that same power back up, but it's, I mean, that's good enough for her to be able to go ahead and pour in the hole as she's been doing most of the day.
It's fascinating here because if Leona makes 3 down with 4 to go, but if Leona misses and Nelly makes, the match is over.
Well, it's going to be on Nelly's shoulders because she's going to be putting first. So if she makes it, then Leona, I mean, she's got to make, well, she has to make it anyway, but
She'll go first here. Leona is about 6 feet, it would appear.
This putt, about a 12-footer, very fast, back downhill. And that's what happens out here when you miss on those downhill putts. They just totally get away from you. And now her par putt is outside Leona's birdie putt. And now, Karen, in a matter of 10-15 minutes, Nellie's gone from having complete command of this tournament in this match to things looking a little doubt creeping in.
Okay, is this Nellie doing Nellie things?
Flair for the dramatic.
Yeah.
Just her goal right now, get this in the hole and force your competitor to have to hold their putt to win. Yep. Job well done.
Of course, she gave Leona a look.
Yeah, but she can, you know, like we said earlier in the broadcast, if you're losing a hole to a birdie doesn't sting as much as, you know, letting her in with a par.
Especially a shot like Leona hit. All right, so this putt to get to 3 down with 4 to go.
And Leona really has only made 1 birdie. And that came back at the 3rd hole when she made birdie on top of Nellie. And they have the hole. This one uphill, pulling to the right. She's, if anything, been a little shy on her speed, so expect this to go in with a little more force.
Well, she's down, but she's not out. Leona Maguire wins 13 and 14 to keep hope alive in Vegas.
We're back in the championship match here at the T-Mobile Match Play presented by MGM Rewards. It's Leona Maguire against Nelly Korda, and Leona has just won 2 holes in a row. And she's now 3 down, but there's a glimmer of hope.
I'd say there's more than a glimmer of hope. There's really nothing worse than having command of a match and watching things slowly slipping away. But it's going to be a test for Nelly to just stay really focused and patient and not let what Leona has done in the last 2 holes affect how she plays.
Now Maguire looks like less than driver.
Yep, and pushing it with a cut out towards the right side. This may find the rough.
Yeah, it is going to find the primary rough. That's going to make the second shot very difficult with Michael's Creek guarding the front of the green. You remember a couple of matches ago, Leona almost holed out with her 3rd shot to end the match. That was kind of where she drove it on that occasion. So she has been over there this week. Now Nelly.
Also with the fairway wood. Definitely wants to hit this down the right center. She likes to hit pretty much a straight ball or a little teeny bit of a cut, which plays beautifully to this right to left breaking or sloping fairway.
That was the straight ball there.
That was a very controlled swing. Like it wasn't the full Nelly.
Nelly 3 up in the match and in a really good spot off the tee. Maguire in a little bit of a pickle. We'll see how she handles it when we come back. Back at the 15th, there's a good look at how the hole meanders down, and we talked about Michael's Creek short of the green, and that is going to be very much in the mind of Leona Maguire, who's over on the left side of his screen there.
And I think because of the angle and how tough it's going to be for her to carry this with height out of this rough, she's chosen a short iron and going to lay up on this side of the creek. Play it like a short par 5.
This is what she did earlier in the week. That was a safe play, but unfortunately, Karen, wrong I mean, you just her hands are tied in a sense.
They are. I mean, I mean, she's obviously putting faith and trust in that wedge, but now Nelly's in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
You couldn't have dropped this drive in a more perfect spot. Absolutely level lie, 8-iron in hand.
Just needs to get
gorgeous.
over the water there, yeah.
There's so much freedom there for Nelly, knowing that Leona's laid up. Like, I kind of wanted to see Leona give it a go.
This could be it right here.
You would have tried to get it over the water?
Yeah, well, it depended on, I mean, obviously the lie, but it's hard to not give it a go. Like, I mean, that takes incredible discipline to not go for it, because you know that you've got to make something happen. You're still trying to catch up ground. I mean, I know that you don't know what Nelly's doing because she's going second, but the way she's been playing, you're not expecting her to really mess it up.
And she has hit some wonderful hybrids from difficult spots already today, Leona.
Well, so much talk about this championship match centered around the Solheim Cup and a possible preview. And Karen, we've seen already today a little bit of what you feel like is a Solheim Cup move here from Nelly.
Well, a lot of players will do this. Like, they won't watch the other player do the putts. They just kind of want to move on with their own thing. And a lot of the times we see that at Solheim Cups, that even the players will move up into the next teeing area. I mean, it's difficult to do here because you're really hidden from view. But a lot of the times you see that at Solheims.
Do you have a problem with that?
Not, I mean, going all the way to the tee, I find a little bit, but not watching is totally cool. That's what everybody, you know, it's whatever you need, you want to do, because you're competitors. You're trying to win the match. You've got to give it your best shot.
Well, the flag is the farthest back that it has been all week. We talked about having a similar situation in the quarterfinal against Maria Jutanagan, and drove it in the rough, and then had this one as a third shot. And just take a look at how good it was.
And that's why, Tom, she did what she did, is that she has memories of doing that here.
Different situation though against Maria. She was up controlling the match, was finishing it off. Completely different now. Needs to create a similar kind of shot. May need to even hole it.
Yeah, definitely needs something spot on here, because Nelly's in a position where she has a good attempt at birdie, and I don't see her 2-3 putting from where she is. That's a 61-yard shot. And you do not want to end up past the hole.
Talked about how quick it is above the hole on the 15th, and you've seen, if you've been watching our competition today, you can have on the green. They slowed them down over the week because of the strong wind that came through condition on Thursday. Some of the most difficult players on the tour have ever faced in their professional careers, with the wind gusting up over 40 miles an hour. But now the greens back to their regular speed, close to 13 on the stimp meter. You see who's away here, Kay?
I believe it's Nelly. And again, she's put herself in a good position here underneath. She can control the speed. It's not going to get away from her. It's uphill with some left to right break.
And a putt to win the championship and make it 4 wins in 4 starts. Oh, you can see she's not happy with that at all. She wanted to win it to 3. Yeah, just knew it wasn't enough pace. Still, could be good enough.
I think she wanted to make that twofold for the drama, obviously for the out-and-out win, and also she has a tremendous amount of respect for Leona. She knows that Leona's a fiery competitor and what she's capable of, and she has to fully expect that Leona's going to make this putt. And Nellie's probably already pre-planning to go to the next hole. This is a really tough putt, very speedy, but the thing is, the comebacker is irrelevant, so she can sort of disregard the speed and just really hone in on the line and be supremely confident with this putt.
And it doesn't go. And Nelly Korda is a winner again on the LPGA Tour.
The world #1, Nelly Korda, a dominating 4-3 victory over one of the best match play players of her generation, Leona Maguire. And Karen, this was Nelly at the third, at already up, 1-up.
Well, and you can see this was going to really set the tone, just how well she was rolling that ball. I mean, perfect speed, perfect line.
And so Leona, in danger of going 2 down, had this to top her. So she stays 1 down. They would tie the 4th, and then with Nelly close for birdie at 5, Leona did this.
Well, and knowing that Nelly's close for birdie, having seen her make some putts already, you kind of feel like you want to make sure you give it a decent go. But giving it a decent go quickly turns into having a massive comebacker on these golf courses.
She would miss the comebacker. She would concede the birdie to Nelly. She was 2 down through 5. And then at 6, a mammoth tee shot set up this.
It's just a really good controlled little 9-iron here for Nelly. And with these perfect conditions and her fabulous swing, he's able to get a good result.
And after Leona was unable to birdie 7, Nelly had this to go 4 up.
It's like a machine.
Completely in control until the 9th. First putt slid past, missed the comebacker, and Leona had her first hole 1 of the day.
And that was the anomaly.
Yeah.
That was not the norm right there.
Well, this is what you talked about earlier. Leona got the win, but then pushed her second shot right, got behind a tree, had to punch out sideways. It opened the door for Nelly, and she busted the door down for a par to go back 4 up. At the 11th, this was to win the hole for Leona.
And she doesn't get it to the hole. Nelly still has a longish putt for her par. I think Leona was hoping that Nelly might gift her one there, but Nelly doesn't gift too many.
And so it remained a 4-up lead for Nelly at that point. And then another huge tee shot from Nelly at 12. Off the flag stick. Leona had a long putt from the back of the green, slick down the hill. She would 3-putt, and Nelly would go 5 up. Leona on the ropes. Came up with a great one here at 13.
Well, she has about a 3-foot square area to land that ball in to get that result. It's so difficult.
Nelly struggled there at the 13th, unable to make her par. And so for Nelly, it was a 5-up lead down to 4-up. And then at 14, Nelly in the fairway, Leona out of position until this.
Well, hybrid from the rough. Lie was not particularly great. It was sitting down, but using the contours of the green to great effect.
Nelly doesn't have to do that as much because of her length. You said Leona had to. Beautifully done there. she would. After finally seeing it, she would roll that in for birdie, and it was a 3-up lead. But because of the big advantage early, Nelly had multiple opportunities to close out the match with a hole 1. After Leona laid up from the rough, Nelly second at 15.
And she's doing exactly what she needed to do. I mean, she doesn't have long clubs into these holes.
Nelly missed her birdie putt, tapped in for par. It was actually conceded. Leona had to make it to extend the match, couldn't. And they stopped the fight. Nelly, a dominant performance against a great player. Well, about the only thing that can stop Nelly Korda right now is the schedule. No tournament next week on the LPGA Tour. She's won the last 3 Sundays. She's won the last 4 starts for her. She keeps putting obstacles in front of her, like 7-week layoffs, deficits on Sunday, intense, inclement weather, and she has overcome all of it as we welcome you to Shadow Creek here. Grant Boone, Karen Stupples, and our entire team. Karen, we said it earlier that Nelly Korda is in the middle of a run that you just don't see very often on the LPGA Tour. There was a time when you would see a Lydia Ko and Inbee Park rack up 4 or 5 wins, and occasionally a Lorena Ochoa, as she did in 2008, rattle off 4 wins in a row. But we are scouring the record books these days to try to put into perspective what Nelly Korda is doing.
And I think that we've become accustomed to players, you know, putting in those 4 or 5 win seasons, but doing it over the course of a whole season. Certainly in the last sort of 10, 15 years, that's generally been the norm. But to do it in this such short space of time, she's only had 5 starts. That's 4 wins in 5 starts. That's really dominant golf. And not only has she been dominant, she's been doing it on golf courses, as I said, with different grasses, in some absolutely appalling weather conditions, with a gap of 7 weeks off in between. That it's just mind-blowing to me how well she's able to adapt to the different playing conditions, to whatever anybody else throws at her, and also in terms of she's been back and she's lost her lead and she's come back. Momentum swings. She's been able to overcome all of that, and that's a very special talent.
So 4 straight starts won. The fact that she's won 3 straight Sundays, that doesn't happen very often. Take a look at our insights by KPMG, and in the last 40 years, Annika Sorenstam won 5 in a row in 04 and 05. She won 4 in a row in 2001. We mentioned Lorena, 2008. Now 4 straight starts won for Nelly. Nancy Lopez won 5 straight starts back in 1978. She and Annika are tied for the longest win streak in LPGA history, and Nelly will have a chance to match that at a major.
I mean, look at that. That's the who's who right there now of women's golf. I mean, Annika to do it 2 times. I mean, still GOAT quality, isn't it? You know, but you know, Nelly's got an opportunity to do so at a major next time round, 5.
Nelly likes to joke that sometimes she does normal Nelly things. What she means is that down the stretch, maybe she'll bobble a little bit and let some players back into it. You go back a few weeks ago to Palos Verdes in Southern California when she bogeyed her last 2 holes to fall back into a playoff. What did she do? Birdied the first playoff hole to beat Ryan O'Toole. Then she comes from behind last week, 2 shots back, bogey-free 65 at the Ford Championship, a course she had never seen before. She said, that was actually the least stressful win I've had in a long time. Today, she finishes off her 3rd match won on the weekend, never trailed the entire weekend in match play.
No, and that's impressive because, you know, players were trying to chase her down, but nobody could.
And to do it against Leona Maguire makes it even more impressive. Nelly Korda is going to join us after she signs a few more autographs. Might want to hang on to that one. One of the longest win streaks in the history of the LPGA Tour began in Bradenton, Florida, Nelly Korda's hometown. She had a 4-shot lead when the round began, lost it early, and Lydia Ko came roaring from behind, hit this brilliant second shot at the par 5 17th. Watch how close this gets. Lydia, a tap-in eagle. So Lydia suddenly was 3 shots up with 2 to play. And Nelly had to strike. This for eagle. And it gave her a chance going to the 18th. Not the best of lies in the fairway, but this second she says go. Just go. Fly, fly. There's a little ridge right there. She and Jason McDeed, her caddy, thought it might be in from where they were. It nearly was. A tap-in birdie would force a playoff with Lydia Ko. The champagne was on ice for Lydia to go into the Hall of Fame. But it was Nelly who popped the cork on her first win since the end of 2022 and kissed that victory drought goodbye. And here is the hottest player. Forget about women's golf. Men's golf, maybe in all of sport. Nelly Korda. Nelly, let me go back to that moment. You're 3 shots down with 2 to go, and that's where a 4-tournament win streak begins. Take us back to that moment.
Yeah, I hit it into the water on 15, made a double, and then bogeyed 16. And I was walking to the tee, and I asked Jason if he thinks I have a chance, and he just straight up told me no. So that was the key to that win, I think. We joke about it to this day. But yeah, I mean, I just kind of locked in. I mean, it honestly feels like a blur still to this day. And it took a 7-week break after that, didn't compete for a little, and then teed it up back in LA a couple weeks ago.
So how long has it been since you last lost? You weren't even an aunt yet.
Yeah.
Jessica said you almost sent her into labor with that finish there.
Yeah.
Now you're an aunt, Auntie Nelly again, and now you've won 3 in a row. Tell us about what Karen's been talking about, the ability to win in very different kinds of conditions and on very different golf courses.
Yeah, I mean, I think you just have to lock in more when you compete in really bad weather, and I seem to have kind of done that really well in the past couple weeks. I would say that we've had really bad weather for the last 3 events. I mean, it was so cold yesterday. It was windy. I mean, it was rainy in Arizona, windy as well. And I feel like we've had every season possible the past 3 weeks, except for snow. But yeah, I think it's just, you just have to lock in a little bit more. And I just love competing. I love golf. I've always said I don't see a golf course and I'm wowed by it. I have more like love the competition of it. I love competing against the girls, and it was a lot of fun to do that against Leona today as well.
Yeah.
At the start of this year, did you imagine this being the start of your season?
No, no, not at all. Honestly, at the start of this year, I was just thinking that I just wanted to be happy and healthy. I haven't had a full season where I wasn't sidelined from an injury. It's still really early on in the season, but I have a great team behind me that I wouldn't be able to do this without them. But after the first week in Orlando, I was a little bit iffy with my game, and then thankfully, Jamie flew in for Bradenton, and we got the game dialed, and then he did the same thing before I went actually to the first event in LA, and then I had him there the entire week, and then he also came out this week for a few days. So I just have a really great support system, and they really have my back.
That's cool.
Now 4 straight starts. One, you want to look at some highlights?
Sure.
Yeah, you had the best view of anyone as they happened, but let's show you some of how it happened today. You got off to a good start. You halved the 3rd with birdies, and then after winning 5, you did this at 6.
Yeah, I just hit a little controlled 9. I was actually in between clubs, and I opted with the 9-iron over the pitching wedge just to kind of feel the shot more in there. I knew the greens were a lot firmer today.
At 7, this to go 4 up.
Yeah, actually, that was a diabolical pin. I couldn't believe how much that chip ran away from me, but pretty straightforward uphill putt after that.
All right, you lost the 9th, but then Leona put herself in a tough spot, and you had this for par.
Yeah, I hit it left with my approach shot and then kind of flopped it to that point, and it was a pretty standard up the hill, kind of right to lefter. This one, I honestly was just trying to hit it 60 yards, but I feel like when you're on an uphill slope, your ball you compress it a little better, so the ball flies a little further. So I'm actually very lucky that it hit the pin.
And you would have that conceded for another birdie, and then After Leona won a couple of holes, hit some great shots, you hit this beauty at 15.
Yeah, just a 8-iron, stock 8. This green is so firm, so you just have to barely fly the water. So it's a lot of risk, but as you can tell, I was relieved it flew over the water.
And I know you weren't taking anything for granted because of how good Leona is.
Yeah, I mean, she's such a fiery competitor. I've said that since day one. We've had a couple matches in Solheim Cup, and I'm pretty sure she has the upper hand on me on wins, but she always brings her A game. She always is so fiery, and it was a lot of fun sharing the stage with her today.
Yeah. Well, Nelly, as we look back over this stretch, going back to late January, what is it that you're proudest of in this 4-tournament win streak?
I would say the consistency. I put a lot of work in during my 7 weeks off. I can't thank my team enough. Kim, Jez, we had a great training block in Prague, seeing my family and even at home. So just the way that I was consistent and the way my body held up too. You know, it's tough. I drove all the events. Yeah. Which I'm not going to do again.
We wondered, yeah.
Yeah, the drive solo actually from Arizona to Vegas was not fun after. But just the way my body held up, I was really happy with that, and just seeing all the hard work that I put in pay off.
Are you aware of all the records you're setting and all the records you're threatening here? You want to see some?
Sure.
Let's take a look. Yep. We've been digging into the record books. So the great Kathy Whitworth, all-time winningest player, man or woman, in American professional golf.
Kathy's best friend actually texted me last week, and I just told her it's an honor to just be compared to Kathy. I played in her invitational growing up, and I loved being around her. She was so great. Yeah.
I mean, it's just remarkable because, I mean, obviously, Kathy Whitworth, one of the greatest that's ever played the game. And there you are with your name, seeing it there. Do you have to pinch yourself sometimes with that?
Yeah, it's a dream come true. As I said, I mean, just getting compared to Kathy is a real honor.
Nelly, you get a much-deserved week off along with the rest of the tour.
Yes.
You need it, you told us. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then you off you go to the club at Carlton Woods where you played really well last year, and a chance to join Nancy Lopez and Annika Sorenstam for the longest win streak in LPGA history at a major. Yeah. What do you think about when you think about Carlton Woods?
Well, what I'm thinking about is just my week off right now. Yeah, right. Just hitting, just sleeping in my own bed. Yeah, I really like the course that we play at. Obviously, you know, being from Florida, it's Bermuda. I don't know what kind of condition it's going to be in this year. I know last year they got a lot of rain, so it was pretty soft, but love a good challenge, but right now my eyes are set on my bed and enjoying it.
You've done pretty well on courses you haven't seen before, so now you get to go to one that you saw last year. Great to see you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thanks for having me.
So Nelly Korda, #1 in the world, dominant thanks to everyone who made it happen this week. We were led capably by producer Abby Johnson, director Jeff Jastrow, for Karen Stupples, Tom Abbott, Kay Cockrell, and all of us. Golf Central comes your way next. And then the Chevron Championship begins April the 18th, about 10 days' time, on Golf Channel and Peacock. Thanks to T-Mobile, thanks to Shadow Creek, and thanks to Nelly Korda for giving us, well, a run that we haven't seen in a long time. Nelly Korda comes to Vegas and lets it ride. 4 straight wins. And now she's headed to a major as the hottest player in golf. For all of us with Golf Channel, I'm Grant Boone. Thanks for watching the LPGA. We'll see you at the Chevron.